Hey everyone, welcome back to the YouTube channel An American Professor. In this video, we're going to be discussing conditional logic in Python. In order to do this, we'll start out with the almighty if statement, then go to the if-else statement, and finally the general structure of if-elif, which stands for else if and else. But we'll start off simple with just the if statement. But why do we even need conditional statements in Python? Well, conditional logic allows your program to operate differently depending on the value of the conditional statement. So your program can now make choices when you use conditional logic. So let's start off with this variable name, set it equal to Bob. We'll check the length of the name Bob, which is the number of characters in it. If the length, we've seen the length function before of name is less than or equal to 3, we'll print the string. You have a short name. See the output of that in the cell below. But what if you had a name that had 4 characters? Then this is the conditional. Conditional is the expression or expression inside of these parentheses. And if takes that in, and if the conditional expression is true, the statement under the statement under the if statement evaluates. But if it's false, this is skipped. So what if we have Bobby? Nothing is output. Bob, the if statement is executed. So this is where the else clause comes into play. So let's take a new name, define a slightly longer one like Bobby, but here Caleb. So with this else clause, if the if statement is not ran, then the else clause will be run. Your name is not that short. So we get this string printed out because our if clause failed. Caleb has 5 characters. And so the else part is run. If we just have Cal, C-A-L, the if statement is run. Now let's go over a new built-in method called input, which allows us to collect user input from the keyboard. Input will take in a string from the keyboard when I run the cell and store it in the variable name here. Joshua in there, print name, Joshua. So we can take our little code block here, stick it below this cell. And if we run this now, see your name is not that short. Input will be useful later when we go over iteration, especially with for loops and other things. We can make some more complex examples and your knowledge will deepen. But lastly, let's go over the generic if, elif, else structure with a different example. Sometimes we may need to check multiple conditionals and handle multiple cases for the truth values. So let's set the number equal to -7. If number is less than 0, we'll print out number is negative. Elif, or else if the number is equal to 0, we'll print out the number is 0. Else, by default, if the first 2 conditions fail or are false, then we'll print the number is positive. That is comprehensive and logical. This handles the sign for any possible integer or even floating point number. So let's check it out. Indeed, our number is negative. What happens if we just put in 7? We reach the else statement. So the first 2 evaluated to false. So if is number less than 0, false. Is the number equal to 0, false. Else, print the number is positive. So we printed out the number is positive. Now you need to be careful with the is equal to operator, the comparator. Oftentimes people will write something like this, number equals 0. That's an assignment. So if you run this, print out number, you get 0. But what most people often mean, right, when they're writing conditionals is is equal to. This is the is equal to. And that is true. So number, the variable is still 0, but this conditional will evaluate to a Boolean. Just need to be careful of that. Finally, note that conditional logic allows your program to make different choices depending on the truth value of the conditional statements. In the next video, we will discuss how to make more complex conditional statements and go over the logical operators available in Python. That'll be and, or, and not. You've already seen not if you've watched the membership operators video where I go over the and operator and the not operator. Please hit that like and subscribe button and share this with your friends. I enjoyed teaching this, but I want to make sure I'm reaching a big enough audience to make an impact. Help me grow the channel. Bye-bye.